Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Our speaker today is Beth Z. She's been chatting with you guys about where you're from, and she's actually one of our featured educational speakers at the 2018 FPDA/ISD Joint Industry Summit, being held September 23rd through the 26th in Lake Tahoe. She's here to help you filter through the thousands of apps, gadgets, widgets, and doodads to find the perfect free and bargain technology tools for work and at home. Bessie has been featured on our, well, not our best speaker list, but she is one of our best speakers list for meetings and conventions, magazine, and meetings.net. She has also written 4 books on apps and speaks to about 10,000 people a year. Before we get started, I just want to remind everyone that we encourage you to ask questions during the presentation, and you can do so by clicking the chat icon towards the bottom of your screen. Once you open that, it'll open to the right, and please select in the to field all panelists and attendees so everyone can see your questions. Now, please join me in welcoming Beth Z. Take it away.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. My goal here is to have us in and out very quickly. These are just top 10 tools that you can use right now to start changing your productivity. The bigger picture is that I'm going to be at the summit, the 2018 summit. We're going to have another one of these before the session, before the actual event. And it's a part of a bigger picture of all the apps you can have. So this is just a little taste. We're just going to do a few minutes here and give you some punchy things you can use right now. I'm going to be asking you guys what you use though, and please keep, I pointed over there because now my chat window is over there. Please keep chatting with me and I will ask you at different times what you're using so that we can get some real sharing of what's happening in the real world. All right, ready? Hey, that's the best picture I've ever taken. Ta-da, that's me. Beth Z, your nerdy best friend. Next. This is the most important link, and I think Vincent's going to send this to you as well, but the PowerPoint that I'm doing today and all the things that I'm going to be doing, the other webinar I'm doing and the event, everything that I'm doing will be in this folder. If you came on early, you saw that we changed the name of the folder a little bit, moved it around, made sure that it was all inclusive for all the groups and all the different people who are working with us on this. But this is the folder. You can use it now and we will keep adding to it. So even if you can't make the other webinar or the other event, this is where you can go to keep getting all those handouts. So you can go there right now. If you want to hear more from me and you don't know yet because maybe you don't like me, we just got started. But you can text the word nerd to 66866 to get on my newsletter. That's enough about that. Let's go. Top 10, number 1. This is so bizarre. Several of the things I'm going to talk about today and in the coming programs that I'm going to be doing are what I call hashtag helpful but creepy. This is one of them. It's called YVA, and I think they try to pronounce it Eva. It doesn't look like Eva to me, but anyway, it's their task finder. So Eva also just expanded, so they've got some other tools in there. But the task finder does this. Let me pull it up right here. When you get an email, a lot of times inside that email is buried a task you need to do. And in the conventional method, you would find that task, pull it out and put it in a list and address it, or you would just try to write the email back at the time. But sometimes you miss them. So every single day, this tool called YVA goes through my inbox by itself, looks at all the emails I've gotten, finds tasks that are in there, pulls them out, puts them in a separate list, sends them back to me with a deadline. So what it's trying to do is make sure that I don't miss things. This is the one that I got yesterday. It says, Dear Beth Z. Smith, I'm your personal task assistant, and here are the things that you might have missed. Vincent sent me a note saying, could you double check to see what email address you're using? This was in a larger email and a larger email chain. It's very easy to miss these kind of things. So that one line, now if you look very carefully, when I scroll over that one line, and it's on my screen, it's slightly yellow, it's very light highlight, but it turns that one line into a hyperlink where the task is now located. From Molly Gardner, this was a request that it was due a few days ago. Could you please add Beth as a speaker under this other account? It found in a whole string of emails that one line that was a task, and it pulled it out. We would love to have you join us. Let me know if you're interested and available. Again, it pulled out the tasks from my email and put it in a list and put a deadline on it. I missed the deadline on all these, but that's not the point now, is it? It pulls it out. Now, they've changed their structure. It's called YVA. They opened it up in beta, and I think the fall. And they changed their structure very recently, so that YVA is now, let me just go to the site real quick and show you. It's now a comprehensive mind-reading creepy tool for your entire staff. So what it'll do, look at this. I'll go into the pricing to show you all the individual things. For $4.99 per employee a month, it will look at engagement and productivity analytics. So it'll read your employees' emails and task completion and speed percentage. Sentiments received and sent. Are your employees writing nice emails? Are they receiving nice emails? 360-degree feedback, skill set, pulse surveys, all kinds of things. So that's like deeper institutional tools. But it's way down here, the YVA Task Assistant that I'm using, and it's free. And again, it goes into there. Now, very recently, they added it to my Google Assistant. So right here in front of me is my Google Home. So I could say, okay, Google, let me talk to Eva.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that yet.
Okay, so she's not cooperating. I think you have to say Eva Tasks. But anyway, all of my tasks are now in my Google Home, and you'll probably have better luck. My Google Home doesn't like me very much. You'll probably have all of your tasks that are organized there. This is very high-tech stuff based on artificial intelligence and some creepy activity. So if you're not into the creepy activity, let's go back to this. Here's a basic one that works really well. It's called Todolist. My manager, who had a baby yesterday, yay, Molly! My manager uses Todolist so much, she actually put have baby into Todolist so that she would make sure she would get it done. And obviously she can mark that off her list now. But Todolist is what you think a to-do list would be. And my manager, Molly, is the most organized person I've ever met in my entire life, and everything goes in Todolist. It's like an outline, and you can make lists, you can make sub-lists, but here's a couple of things that make it really cool. Number one, you can assign things to other people. Even in the free versions, you can assign things to other people and follow up and see whether they've been done. Second thing is, it'll hook up in your email, because most of my tasks come in my email, right? Just like YVA will find them. Somebody will send me a task and say, hey, Beth, can you do this for me? And instead of having to take that task out of the email and rewrite it somewhere, you can just forward the whole thing into Todoist, and it'll manage the whole email like a task. So now it's the participation part. I'm going to ask you guys, please, in the chat, somebody tell me another tool you use for task management. So, because the last thing I have is that this is my normal lunch hour and I'm hungry. But somebody share with me and share with us something you use for task management. It's no fun if nobody plays. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep my eye on the chat. Let me tell you about this one. This is kind of a bonus tool for the task management system. It's called Trello. Oh, here we have, so Russell uses Outlook. Outlook has several tools embedded in there. And Outlook now also has something called Microsoft To Do. because they bought a tool called Wunderlist, and everybody loves Wunderlist, and they bought it and they're kind of assimilating it. Microsoft To Do integrates with Outlook and will add that feature. And then TDF CRM program is what Jay Hudson uses. Some of you guys, when you answer, make sure you do the to all attendees too, because those are just me. And Outlook came up twice. Outlook, again, has some really good tools in it. Microsoft To Do is the to-do list that goes with the Microsoft products, and so you might look into that too. Trello is a little bit different. So many of you may have some project management tools that you really like, and please share those with me too in the chat, and we can talk about those. But Trello is a little bit different. It's like a bulletin board, right? A bulletin board on which you put little cards of information. And then you stack the cards and you move the cards. You can make the cards to do, to be done, in progress, and that kind of thing. You can stack them up and organize them any way you want to. Trello is its main focus is project management. So you can have like mild project management things like rolling out, you're going to have an employee party and everybody has tasks to do. You can keep track of it on there. But it also can serve as a task management tool. And then somebody uses OneNote, excellent, which also has task management kind of things in there. Okay, moving on to another category. I'm sorry, but your password must contain an uppercase letter, a number, a haiku, a gang sign, a hieroglyph, and the blood of a virgin. And according to IT, it now has to be changed at 6:59 a.m. every day. Guys, there's no doubt that passwords are the bane of our existence. They drive us crazy. Watching someone trying to remember a password before you get to the 4 strikeouts and they lock you out is just painful. And many of us end up resetting them every time because we can't remember them. If you take nothing else from this session, and I will repeat this, if you come to my session at Summit, I will repeat this, and I may even repeat it at the next one. Whatever you do, you need to have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit. This is not negotiable anymore, guys. It's so critical for our security that you have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit. Here's how I keep track of mine. It's called LastPass. What LastPass lets you do is set up one password that they call it the last password you'll ever have to remember. You set up one password and that gets you into a vault, and inside that vault it'll keep all of your passwords organized. So when I go to any of my sites, I have a drop down that says I can log in with the credentials, which means that I don't have to remember all those passwords, which means that my passwords are 16 characters and up with uppercase, lowercase, all kinds of things. Very complicated, very hard to duplicate, and they're unique for every site. I guarantee many of you are using and reusing the same passwords, and you can't. Guys, in the past several years, everybody has been hacked. Anthem, Sony. If Ashley Madison is not safe, nothing is. You have to do something to take care of this problem. You have to address it, and you can't reuse passwords. So please, before I see you at Summit, make sure you take care of that. And then come up to me at Summit and say, I did it, and we'll celebrate together. Bonus, here is another thing you need to do. It's called authenticators, multi-factor authenticators, two-factor authentication, whatever it is. Use an authenticator every single time you can. They're annoying, right? You have to, usually it's like you click a box. Like if you use Dropbox, you can just click a box to say use multi-factor authentication. And it's where they send you a text message or some kind of message on a different device with a code that you have to use to put in the system. Guys, the security from that one little step helps everything go through the roof. And it's just it's critical that you take these steps and make that happen. It's critical. So use two-factor authentication, use a password management system. Now, some of you may be asking the question in your head, hey, is LastPass safe? And the answer is no, nothing is safe. If you're online, you're not safe. But you can take steps that'll make you more secure. And that'll be a lot more secure than your elaborate sticky note system around your favorite monitor, or the cleverly disguised document you kind of called passwords with your passwords. Y'all laugh, but some of you were doing it. All right. Let's talk about this one. This is crazy awesome. How many of you have scanners on your phone where you can actually take a picture of a piece of paper? If you take a picture of a piece of paper with a regular camera, it looks like a picture of a piece of paper. But if you use a scanning app, when you take a picture of that piece of paper, it will find the edges, it'll take out the humpy bumps, correct the shadows, take out the folds, what have you, and it'll make it look like you ran it through a scanner. There are several of them out there. If you know of one that you like, pop it in the chat box, but there's Genius Scan, Tiny Scanner, all kinds of different things. I like Office Lens because it's a little bit different. Now, the tools I'm talking about are either free or low cost, like LastPass has a free version and then it's $24 a year for the deluxe. But Office Lens is a little bit different in this category. To get the full functionality of Office Lens, you have to have somewhere in your world a subscription to Microsoft Office 365. So with Office Lens, you can hold your phone over a piece of paper, scan it with Office Lens, and within 2 or 3 clicks, the system turns that document into an editable document on Microsoft Word. So you can, within 2 or 3 clicks, actually take your finger, put it on your screen in Microsoft Word on your phone and start typing. Because it will create a formatted document for you. Here's a bonus. Google is doing some fun things in this area. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I'm going to do an awkward thing to show you something awkward. Here we go. If you saw when we were playing around before the session, you probably saw me try this. So what happens is Google has created something called Google Lens if you're on Android. And if you're on iOS, if you're on an Apple device, it's going to be inside Google Photos. But here we have Google Photos on my phone, right? You don't need to see what that actually is, but I'm going to show you something here. Here, I took a picture of a page in a book. Now I'm going to click on this button right here. It looks like a little Instagram button. When I click on it, you see all those little dots happening? It is actually analyzing what's on there. Now, down at the bottom, and it's a little hard to see, we tried to do this another way, but now we're just doing it awkwardly here. It has highlighted a section there because that is a link, and it has given me the link down here. Again, resolution's bad. There we go. It has given me the link already down there. So now, you see the button called Text Selection. When I do that, I can actually click into the words, and as soon as I select that on the bottom, it pulls up the text. You see that? So I just took a picture of a page from one of my books, highlighted some text, and I can pull it off right there and send it out. All right. So that is just from like a book or something, but let me go to a business card, which is more likely what you're going to be doing. So this is a few minutes ago, right before the session, I took a picture of my husband's. With Google Lens, you can do this live. With Apple, you're going to have to take the picture and go into it through Google Photos. So there's my husband's business card. Again, I'm going to press this little magic button, and it'll analyze the page. And then it pulled off all of the information. Again, we just wanted to show you this. It pulled off all the information from that business card and let me put it into as a contact immediately. Even though, and that's why I wanted to show you this, even though the card has teeny tiny type and it's black and it's shiny, and y'all know if you've used these card readers before, how hard it is to do that. All right, so that is our bonus. Let me share my screen again. All right, let me see. I think I just saw somebody chat with something. Okay, cool. This is crazy. One of the things that wastes a lot of time for us is going back and forth finding a time to meet. And I hate it when a salesperson sends me a link to find a time in their schedule. I mean, you know, it's helpful sometimes, but me personally, I'm like, you know, just talk to me about when is a good time to meet. But sometimes you don't have time to go back and forth, right? So this tool is called X.AI. There are several of these out there, but watch what it does. You meet somebody at a conference. They write to you and say, hey, it was nice meeting you. Do you have time for coffee? You write her back and say, sure. And you copy a person named Amy and say, Amy, can you find 30 minutes for coffee? Here's the kicker. Amy doesn't exist. Amy is 100% artificial intelligence. So Amy, who doesn't exist, writes back to Mary and says, happy to get something on the calendar. Do any of these times work? And here's the address. Mary, not knowing Amy doesn't exist, writes back and says, mornings are not so good, so 11 a.m. slots are out. 4 p.m. I can do. Thanks, Mayor. They're close now. So Amy writes back to Mary, confirms the time, and sends out an invite. All of this is behind the scenes. Now, X.AI used to have a good free version. They're kind of changing it around. There's a new one called Zoom.AI. Not Zoom.us, which is what we're using to access this webinar, but Zoom.ai will let you just kind of text back and forth and request a meeting. I know some of you have challenges. This is all about productivity, and some of the productivity challenges you have to do with your work-life balance. So I wanted to give you this one. It's called Cozy, and Cozy is a family-friendly calendar manager. And what Cozy lets you do is let every single person in the family set up a calendar, and everybody can see those calendars and understand where people are. So rather than who's got soccer practice, who's picking up whatever, everybody can see where everybody is and what's going on. This isn't a tracking tool, but it's a calendar management tool. And you can do tasks together, and you can do like grocery lists together and keep everything in one place. Now here's the bonus tool. We don't want to call this a stalking app, but it is. It's called Life 360, and it's a tracking app for family members. People adore it. If you've got teenagers at home, if you've got kids who are going on their own, this could be a really nice thing for you. You hook everybody up with Life 360, and everybody knows it's on there. It's not like you're doing anything surreptitiously or something to spy on kids. But you hook everybody up, and it'll tell you where your kids are, or where the people you're tracking, where they are, how fast they're going in a car, how fast the car is stopping, whether or not they're texting while they're driving, all these different things you can determine from Life 360. Stalking, but for good reasons. All right, this one, you've got all these people to call this afternoon and no time to do it. And Lord help you, you don't want any one of them to answer the phone. This is called Slide Dial, and you use Slide Dial to dial a phone, and if it's going, it only works on mobile phones, but it'll go straight to voicemail. It'll never ring their phone. And so some people are like, you know, if they have a whole bunch of people to call, rather than having to call and talk to people, you can just use Slide Dial. Another productivity killer is your email inbox. Now we're going to be talking a lot more about email tools in the next couple of webinars and programs, but here's a teaser. This is called Unroll.me. You sign up with Unroll.me, and it goes through your web-based emails. There's a difference in email between spam and bacon, just like life. So spam, you know what spam is. It's the Nigerian prince, it's the herbal supplement, it's the legislative update that you don't want anymore. All those things are spam. Anything you don't want is spam. But bacon is stuff that you do want, but it ends up clogging up your inbox, right? And you get these updates, you want to read them, lovely newsletters, what have you, but you end up like cleaning out your inbox and just deleting it all because you just can't handle all the volume. Well, what Unroll.me does is it puts all of your emails in a list, and you can, all your subscription-based ones, and you can very quickly click to unsubscribe with one click. And the rest of them, you can choose to have them delivered in a digest every day. So rather than getting 15 emails with notifications, newsletters, what have you, you get one email a day with 15 headlines, basically. And then you can choose whether you want to read that one or not, or whether you throw them all away. But it's not 15 emails, it's one email. Free. This one is a productivity tool for your home and for the office and the desk you're looking at right now. If you ever have junk mail piling up and all these catalogs and these solicitations piling up, driving you crazy, get this app. It's so easy. It's called Paper Karma, and you snap pictures. They used to be free, but now it's like free for the first 5, and then it's $20 a year or something. But you snap pictures of the return address of like the catalogs you're getting and the notifications you're getting, and Paper Karma goes to those companies and gets you off the list. Free. Well, no, I did free. About $20 a year now. And finally, I wanted to tell you about Tripit. If you ever get on a plane, you need Tripit. What Tripit does is it automatically organizes all of your travel plans in one place. So let's say you make a plane reservation today, and 2 weeks from now you make the car reservation, and 3 weeks from then you make a hotel reservation. If you were to pull all those together, you would have to have the emails in different places, or print them out, or save them in the right folder, or what have you, so that when you go to the airport, you know where all you're going. But with Tripit, all you do is forward these emails straight to plans@tripit.com, and it organizes everything into a trip for you. So you can open up your phone, and it'll say, here's the where you go to the airport, here are the directions, here's the weather. Go to the airport, get to your next place, here is the car information you have, and they're all in cards, right? So it goes chronologically about how you booked it. And I use it even for all the meetings I've planned, right? So it's not, I add those meetings separately. Now Google is doing some of this automatically these days, but it's really more about personal travel than business travel. So if you are using this for business, or you're doing it more often, I found Tripit, which is free, to be more helpful. The version that I use, though, is $49 a year, and it'll actually update you and tell you if a price has gone down. It doesn't work on any of those. It won't tell you on any of those that have a $200 change fee. So it's pretty much just Southwest these days. But if the price goes down, he'll send you a notification and say, just contact these people and see if they give you a credit back. And frankly, for the 4 years I've been using Tripit, I've gotten more money in credits back than I've actually spent paying for the app. So one more bonus. This is called Migo. Migo, okay, so you're in a town, or your car broke down or whatever, and you need to get either an Uber or a Lyft or something. So you open up Uber, how far away are they? What's it gonna cost? You open up Lyft, no. Just open up Migo, and Migo will give you that information automatically. So you're in a place, you open up Migo, you can see that Lyft is 9 minutes away, and when you put in the destination, it says it's gonna charge you $12 to get there. And it'll say Uber is 7 minutes away, but it'll be $14 to get there. And you can determine which one is the best one for you and order it right inside the app. Ta-da! So I ask you guys, what is on your perfect device? And I want you to write this as the last thing we're doing today. And if you have any questions in the chat, please do it. Remember to do 2 participants and attendees, because you have to change that setting. But this is the note. Of the few that I just gave you, about 14 of them, the app that I need most is what? Because I want to what? So throw me some questions. Ask me the chat. I'm going to pull the chat over here. And we'll see what, I'm going to stop the share and see if we get some answers. Vincent, why don't you pop in here and tell me the app you need the most is what, because you want to what? Just share it.
I think the task manager tools that you shared were really helpful. I know that staying on top of projects and doing it timely is always somewhat of an issue for me. So task management is definitely up there.
Well, cool. And I don't see that anybody else has put anything on there yet. Or maybe they have. Oh, all right. So I will look into LastPass. Excellent. That's one of the ones I'm going to revisit at the conference, at the summit. So if you didn't get all the details there, come and I'll fuss at you again about your passwords there. I wanted to throw my email out here for you so that if you have any questions, Beth@yournerdybestfriend.com. Beth@yournerdybestfriend.com. I think Vincent is going to send the wrap-up information to you. And Vincent, I'm going to throw it back to you. Do you have anything else to add?
No, just like Beth said, I'm going to follow up with an email with this recording, her presentation, and all of her other little tips and tricks. And also a survey. This is our first time using this webinar platform, so we want to know what you guys think about it. So please fill that out.
Well, I thank you guys very much. Remember, it's Beth@yournerdybestfriend.com if you have any follow-up questions. And until then, nerd on.